The following episode of Spoilers for Days was released on the GR8 M8S Podcast on March 18th, 2019.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Welcome back to Spoilers for Days, which is a mini-series part of GR8 M8S Podcast. If this is your first time listening to us, or the 1000th time you're listening to us, we are a bunch of young Australians who talk about our lives here in Australia and pop culture on the internet. Spoilers for Days is a mini-series that we just, talk about shows that we love to watch at great length. And as it says on the cover art, spoilers. Lots and lots and lots of spoilers. I'm Josh, and with me to discuss part 2 of the season 3 of The Good Place is Nick.
I love The Good Place.
I mean, we all love The Good Place. We both love The Good Place. So, part 2, we'll be discussing chapters 32 to 35 of Good Place, which is very different because now we've left Australia and there's lots of fun stuff. So yeah, I have the long intro again, the long monologue. So, dear listener, get ready, strap yourselves in. While Eleanor and Janet help Chidi break up with Simone, Tahani, Jason and Michael go to Jacksonville to help Jason's dad, Donkey Doug. After Janet crafts a virtual reality simulator, Chidi's able to go through hundreds of attempts to find the best way to break up, which ends up with Eleanor giving it a go. Donkey Doug and Pillboy propose another get-rich-quick scheme to the Soul Squad, and Jason tries to get them to change their minds with no luck. Michael asks Jason to consider someone else to save instead of Donkey Doug, and he settles on Pillboy. Jason confronts his dad, who does a kind of self-sacrificing act, and Pillboy agrees to continue living a good life. In Australia, Chidi breaks up with Simone in the bluntest way possible, and it doesn't go to plan, obviously. Eleanor acknowledges that breakups hurt, and Chidi apologizes for his behavior to Simone and breaks up with her on a more mutual level. The team regroup in Budapest, and Janet and Michael reveal that Eleanor's mother may not be dead after all. Michael and Eleanor return to Arizona to confront her mother, and he explains that they'd been given so much information that giving her this knowledge sooner would have made things worse. Eleanor's mother, Donna, is now using the alias Diana Tremaine and appears to actually be living a happy life with her boyfriend Dave and her new daughter, Patricia. Eleanor doesn't buy it and believes that she hasn't changed for the better and sets out to expose Donna by any means necessary. Back in Budapest, Tahani, Jason, Chidi and Janet set out to save Camilla by interrupting her exhibition on the persistence of conception. Tahani tries to apologize, but Camilla is unimpressed by her gesture, and Chidi's efforts to mediate only leave him mesmerized. Meanwhile, Donna tells Eleanor and Michael about how she met Dave and how quickly they fell in love, but Eleanor remains unconvinced. She confronts Dave at the PTA meeting, but he admits that he's known all this time, and that both he and Donna were going to tell Patricia when she was older. Eleanor continues to believe that her mother cannot possibly have changed because she was never this caring when Eleanor was a child. Back at the house, Eleanor and Donna have a chat, and Eleanor finds a secret stash of cash. After being arrested for destruction of art, Tahani realizes that her toxic relationship with Camilla stems from their parents' impossibly high standards, which force the sisters to compete against each other. Camilla and Tahani reconcile, with Camilla crediting her sister on her new artwork, and Eleanor tells Donna that she is truly happy and encourages her to use the emergency money for Patricia's future. On the way to pick the rest of the squad up at the airport, Michael reveals to Eleanor that she was able to say "I love you" to Chidi. Eleanor takes a look into all the reboots to pinpoint the exact moment she fell in love with Chidi, which starts with her anticipation of his needs. It's Animal Day back in the neighborhood, and Chidi's unable to choose between two cute puppers and gets an owl instead. Jason gets himself a penguin, which he names Blake Bortles, obviously. Eleanor picks an iguana, and Tahani claims a mirror centaur. Eleanor tries to find her iguana, but gets scared by Chidi and pushes him into the lake. After apologizing, they share a kiss, and thus begins their blossoming relationship. They confront Michael, who admits to constructing everything up, And back in the real world, he admits to Eleanor his hesitation to show her these memories because it paints him as a cruel demon. Eleanor isn't necessarily angry with him, but reaffirms her original thoughts that she can never love someone because of Michael's constructed reality, and even after being shown her admission, posits that Michael is also subject to determinism, resulting in him pouring a tall glass of iced tea on her head. While they regroup with Chidi, Tahani, Jason and Janet to find the model for good, Sean and his gang of demons have constructed a portal of their own. An older gentleman in rural Canada is interrupted in his daily routine by Michael and Janet, who are looking for their fabled Doug Forsett. Doug recalls his hallucinatory trip, which revealed the way to the good place, but there's something not quite right about it. At a nearby pub, Chidi can't re-render his turf, so Jason invites him to play a Jacksonville-style version of pool, and Eleanor seeks Tahani's advice on how to talk to him about the reboot. Doug takes Michael and Janet on a tour of his house, and after a brief encounter with a manipulative teen, shows them just how flawed his utilitarian approach is, culminating in him accidentally crushing Martin Luther, Gandhi Tyler Moore. Eleanor comes clean to Chidi about their afterlife relationship, but gets interrupted by Sean, Bambajan, Vicky, and the thick and incredibly hot mailman Chris Baker. A good old-fashioned pub showdown ensues, with Janet sending the demons through to the judge's chambers. Eleanor takes this time to finally reveal her relationship to Chidi, and Sean takes things into his own hands. Janet then regains her powers and knocks Sean unconscious. After discovering their plans, Janet and Michael send Sean back through the judge's portal, and reveals to the squad that there must be something wrong with the entire point system. Before they split up again, Glenn and Bad Janet turn up with a bunch more demons, which leaves them with no choice but to enter Janet's void, which will end all of the humans' lives on Earth. So that monologue was a lot shorter than previously, just because there's a lot to discuss. I mean, not a lot, but also a lot to discuss within these 4 episodes, because it explains a lot of things, like, you know, you find fucking Doug Forsett in the middle of Alberta, and you know, each of the humans tries to make good, you know, with someone that they know. Chidi with Simone, Tahani with Camila, Jason with Pillboy, and Eleanor with Donna, her mom. So yeah. Anything that comes up in the what is that episode called? Oh, okay. So Donkey Dog is the first episode.
The Ballad of Donkey Dog.
Oh, Ballad of Donkey Dog. Which we also kind of covered in the main season of Great
Because
Mates.
it's a crazy episode.
It is bonkers. Absolute bonkers. The fact that Jason calls his dad Donkey Dog in person still gets me. That they have a very interesting relationship as well. But, oh dear. The ODIP.
Oh, the non-stop
the
ODIP.
The non-stop ODIPs. Oh dear. Oh my goodness.
They are an interesting Floridian family.
That is very true. Yeah. Jason is somehow the smartest of that lot.
Oh, I don't know. Pillboy. No, Pillboy thought he was dead, yet had only spoken to him the week before.
Yeah.
Oh, Pillboy. I mean, in a previous episode, he says if he was to ever get money, he would buy his own pills instead of stealing them. So,
oh dear.
Dear. Pillboy.
Oh, Pillboy. But yeah, we finally get the answer to the question that is, who is Jason's dad? It's Donkey Dog, who we saw in the premiere episode. Yeah, just I have no idea how, or from what I recall, it was a decision that they made later to make Donkey Dog Jason's dad, if I recall. I believe that was discussed on the podcast, on Good Place Podcast.
It was.
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, these 4 episodes are like, I don't know how I would describe them. They have a lot of different storylines that have to be fulfilled before we kind of wrap up towards the end with Doug. So, yeah.
I mean, none of these episodes are really, well, of the 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes, none of them are nothing that happens in them really is important.
Mm-hmm. To the overall plot.
Yeah, to the overall plot, really. The latter 2, you kind of have Eleanor figuring out her feelings towards Chidi, but that's all that really matters in that one. And then the last episode, you've got Doug, you've got the demons, you've got the ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
But these are all 4 brilliant episodes just for the amount of jokes and craziness, and
it's a lot. And especially in the episode with Donkey Doug and Chidi trying to break up with Simone, the very clear parallel between the simulations and reboots. And just looking at it and seeing Chidi try to come up with 100 different ways of trying to break up with Simone, and even trying to see if proposing to her would work as a breakup technique. I
mean, it can work.
It can work.
But for a woman who seems pretty goddamn into you,
yeah, that's
probably
true.
not going to work.
No. But also, the fact that Eleanor, he tries to get Eleanor to intercede on his behalf, and the fact that she...
Oh, Eleanor is so bi.
Oh, and it has been confirmed. Eleanor is 200% bi.
Oh, between first her love for Tahani,
and
now...
Now Simone, and
then later on for Janet.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Eleanor is just horny for everything.
Yeah. Forget about the battle a couple episodes ago between horny Tahani and horny Janet.
Mm-hmm.
Horny Eleanor takes the cake.
Oh dear me.
Takes the blueberry muffin.
Apparently. Yeah. There are a lot of jokes in this Donkey Doug episode. But I think the best bit that comes out of it is the goodbye between Jason and Pillboy. The very, very intricate...
The sad handshake.
Yes. And
see, I think one of the best moments is actually very early on in the episode, where Janet does her own thing and then explains that she's kind of a nerd.
Oh,
I prefer that moment just because it's stupid but still very still very character building in a non-character building way. And that Janet's just sad and embarrassed that she can't bing out.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. That's true. But I have to say, the amount of creativity that went into creating that handshake sequence.
Yes, well, to continue with the what's the word? The us saying, just go listen to The Good Place, the podcast, instead of... Well, I mean, listen to us as well, but...
Yes. But for more
info.
better
than us.
Because
it's... It seems like a very fun set.
It does. It really does. Like, and everything that they've, like, even the behind the scenes staff really enjoy working there. So it's like, it just makes you want to be in that sort of environment.
Yeah, well, that's also it's as much as it's like, oh yeah, that's a nice environment to be in. That's a very 1 in a million, 1 in a billion environment.
Oh yes. No doubt that it's such a rare thing to find in something like Hollywood. Yeah. A fractured inheritance. The fact that Eleanor is real keen on killing her own mother.
Oh yeah. She needs to go to Nevada to murder her own mother.
Yes, because all this time she thought her own mother was dead. Dear me. Yeah. And like all the flashbacks to such a fucked up childhood though. In previous seasons, not now. Because yeah. It just doesn't really paint Donna in the best of lights. So I can completely understand why Eleanor can't believe what she's seeing, really. Yeah. But also, when you flip back to Budapest, when the rest of the Soul Squad are trying to, help Tahani fix her relationship with Camilla, the fact that Jason spots boobs, and yeah, and you touched us on this before, Nick, about the fact that Jason is actually very articulate about some things, mostly anatomy on the female body.
And picking out the most expensive painting.
Although I think Janet used that time to be like, oh, I'm bonding again with Jason, so,
She's so in love with that boy.
She is. Jason is bae.
I feel so sorry for her. I'm just like...
Those two were made for each other, really. And like, it's
the
touched
smart
on.
baby and the dumb baby.
They're both babies. Put them together.
I mean, in the first part of this season, Janet does refer to Michael as her father.
Daddy.
Yes. And the judge's mummy.
Yes. Oh, that is very Freudian. But yeah. And it calls back to Jason calling Michael Janet's dad.
Yes.
In season 1, which is something that, yeah, is a very nice touch. But, oh dear. She invests so much into Jason. Like, especially from, like, earlier this season with the fact that she gets him, a bear, massive stuffed bear, and the short shorts, and all of that. Dear me. Does anything stand out from this episode for you?
Not really.
Or anything, any good quotes that you...
No, this episode didn't really... Except for Matt Damon being addicted to Ben Affleck. That is so true. Camilla also being the biggest tosser ever. She's so unbearable.
She is.
And the MGM Grand Luxury Resort and Casino Elementary School always bet on Reed/Red.
Oh, the pun. Oh my goodness. The fact that they can get away with that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. never mind the fact that, you know, the plot is bonkers. It's more the satire that comes along, in terms of, you know, placing these locations and things, and it especially comes out in the next episode, where Eleanor and Michael are in the library.
The Tostitos presents a public library brought to you by GoDaddy.
Oh dear. They have way too much time on their hands to think up of all these sorts of things.
Well, it's not a crowded, but it is a large writer's room.
Yeah, that's true.
And I would presume when someone's going on about a long plot synopsis or going through a thought, you're just thinking of different puns you can make, and
yeah, that's true.
And even if you see like in post production, if you see like a blank wall, or you're like, what do we put here? You know, you got some time to having dinner, thinking of a funny pun or something. So
yeah, true. I also like the fact that Chidi knows how to speak Hungarian.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, to be fair, he does speak quite a lot. So he speaks French, which is his mother tongue, English, Latin,
because it's coming back, baby.
Yes. Did he say Spanish and Greek? He mentioned two other languages in the first episode. So that's already quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, they're all European in some aspects, so it really wouldn't surprise me then. Yeah, it's true that he would speak Hungarian. Dear me. Worst possible use of free will. Determinism. And Eleanor being so ridiculously annoying with her theory about Michael, you know, being controlled by someone else, being
first,
killed by
is
someone
Eleanor
else.
so fucked she can't believe that she actually likes Chidi? Like, her life is so fucked up that she can't be like, this one guy I had feelings for in a previous life. She just, like, she cannot believe that.
I think she latched on to Michael saying that because he'd constructed the reality of the good place, that she made the connection that because it was a constructed reality, therefore anything that I did in that realm is also constructed. I think that's where she's coming from.
Yeah, but even before that, when they're in the library and like at the start of the episode, Michael's like, just take my word for it. You said I love you to Chidi. She was like, no, I want evidence that you've done it, that I said it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is even before she kind of finds out how manipulative Michael was in the good place, bad place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And it's brought up that she has a lot of trust issues.
Well, yes, that is true.
I mean, it is very evident given her childhood. But yeah, she needs physical proof. But then that also begs the question why she was able to make the that leap to faith with the roasts and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, she comes from a very, in many ways, sad childhood, given the fact that she had to, become independent at such a young age. So
Yeah, well, she was emancipated at what, 16?
no, I don't think it was 16. I think she was 14 or
14?
15.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She emancipated herself from her parents because she wasn't getting her needs met. So
Well,
that's what she had to do.
as it says on the board that Michael pulls up with all the things about Eleanor, we
Yep.
do have the point of her father forgot her birthday, so changed the birth certificate so he wasn't wrong.
Oh,
So yeah, she had some quality parents.
yeah. That.
Her mum
Yeah.
once made mac and cheese with wine instead of milk. I mean, that's just a fun time.
Yeah, you're just asking for a fun time.
In the maternity ward, her mother introduced her to a nurse as my little sister.
Ooh, and I mean that comes up again. Is that not like biological sister in this episode, but sorority sister? But like, Eleanor is just all kinds of fucked up. So it really does make sense that she wouldn't, trust anyone, let alone herself.
Some other nice highlights from that list, which we find out, we can only presume from what we find out at a later episode, a lifetime ban from the post office. Yeah, we can only presume how that happened.
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
her love for
Yes.
mailmen.
She considers Princess Jasmine an enemy. It is a
Oh.
one-sided hate because Princess Jasmine is fictional.
Yes. So not real.
Neil deGrasse Tyson considers her an enemy. It's one-sided from his side. So why Neil deGrasse Tyson does not like Eleanor Shellstrop is to
We have
be
yet to
found
find
out.
out.
Yes, we are yet to find out.
Oh dear. There was something about, was it Britney Spears on there as well?
Rihanna's bodyguard.
Yeah. Oh, Rihanna's bodyguard.
Yeah, that's got to do with the licking her.
The licking of calves.
Yes,
Ugh.
it has to.
Calf licking. Oh boy. Oh dear.
What is funny though is in the list that Michael lists verbally, none of it
Yeah.
appears on the chart.
Yeah, that's true.
The closest thing is he says she has sex dreams about Sam the Eagle, and on the list it says sexual attraction to Sam the Eagle.
But everything else is just,
Yeah, none of it's connected, and none of it is on. But that is page 4,000 of, well, page 4,000 and something of 162,000 pages.
oh
So it
my.
could just be a separate page.
Yeah, that's true. There are probably subsections of sections in there.
Yes.
Yeah, because he knows everything about her, and except that, except for the fact that she would admit to not being, not belonging, I guess, and that's the whole reason why, he argues for the fact that there is such a thing as free will, because she was able to stand up and, be held accountable for the fact that she isn't actually meant to be in the good place. And no matter how hard he tried to stop that from happening, it always seemed to happen.
This episode also just points out how determinism, it doesn't work.
Yeah, because then you just spiral out.
Into... Because as she says, so you're just, your decisions may have not been made because there's a bigger demon, and then it could be a bigger demon to that.
Structures on structures on structures.
It's turtles all the way down.
Yeah.
But also then it doesn't mesh with my favourite. I mean, it's not a ethical following, but determinism does not match with the multiverse theory.
No, it doesn't.
Because you need free will to spawn... Well, no. It's not that you spawn different multiverses, but... It's complicated. I'm not going to get into it on a... This is not a physics podcast. This is an ethics podcast.
I mean, we almost went into ranty STEM mode about research design.
I mean, we also ranted about them not having peeps in Australia.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just inaccuracies. This is just me calling out issues with... Which, I mean, I think that's what this show not aims to do, but one of the things they're good at is that they let you decide for yourself on if the topic of the week is relatable or not.
Yeah. Now, before they went to Canada, did you think we would get to see Doug Forsett?
Not in a million years. Oh, I didn't. Not that I didn't think that in a million years, but it's just kind of like I just forgot he existed, kind of.
Like I didn't pick it up. The fact that they would potentially visit Doug until Michael said that they were looking for Doug Forsett.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit! Yeah, that's right. He lives in Canada.
Like, oh yeah,
we're in
a
Canada.
person.
Yeah, he existed. Exists. But yeah, that was such a really good reveal. And Doug, poor Doug.
Poor, sad, happiness pump Doug.
Yes. The man drinks his own piss, basically. And lives off a diet of radishes and lentils?
Yes. Which is my dream diet.
Is it?
No.
Good.
I actually don't like lentils that much.
Oh boy. Oh, Doug Forsett. Dear. He's such an interesting character. Just in general, it's like when you hear his story of his theory of how to get into the good place, but then look at all the examples that he shows about being basically a doormat for the asshole Raymond, and the entire concept of the happiness pump is like you're sacrificing your own happiness for the greater good, as it were, which is the flaw of utilitarianism, which is discussed in this episode. But yeah, I don't know. How did you feel about meeting him and finding out what he's really like?
It's just depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'd have to agree.
Thinking about the point system, like, there has to be some points lost, quotation marks, for being a pushover. Mm-hmm. Like, for not having a backbone.
For not standing up to a teenager.
Or for... And I mean, this will get mentioned next episode, most probably. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you have follow-on decisions from that. So he is a pushover to some little 14-year-old shit.
Yeah.
Well, you're only condoning his actions, which then is that they're not a bad action.
Yeah.
So yeah, his life choices are somewhat questionable.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And it's like, the fact that he wants to live that life, I guess, is also very frustrating, and you can see it in Michael's face. It's like, why do you want to live this way? He so desperately wanted Doug to be someone else.
Yes.
But never turns out that way, so.
And as Michael says, like, you've probably got enough points to get in the good place. Just chill.
Just, live a little. But he can't. And I know the question was brought up in an episode of Good Place Podcast, but do you think that Michael will keep that photo of Doug? That new photo of Doug? Or even the old photo of Doug?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Or, not that he won't keep it, but that it won't be like a favourite possession.
Uh-huh.
Like,
it no longer has the...
It's not going to get framed and put on display for every dead person to see.
Yeah. It's no longer the prized possession that he once viewed it to be. Yeah, that's true. Although, to be fair, that now prompts me to go back through the last few episodes of this season to just double check on set deck just to see it. But yeah, I did like the bar scene.
That's when this episode just picks up.
Yes, this episode is badass.
It goes from a pretty average episode to a pretty great episode fast.
Yes, it goes from 1 to 100 very quickly in like the space of 10 seconds. Dear me. But yeah, anything like any juicy bits from that bar fight that caught your eye?
No, not really. No, like there's great moments in there, but there's nothing that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you like the scene, go back, listen to Good Place Podcast. They have the stunt coordinator. We interview the stunt coordinator who talks about going through all the stunts and what stunts were done by the actors and which they had doubles in for. And I mean, you can tell, like, anywhere where you don't see the actor's face, it's probably the double.
Yeah.
But there is a lot that, I mean, as Mark says in the podcast, like, he wanted to do all the stunts himself. And
no.
That didn't go too well for him.
No, it didn't. But yeah. This bar fight, and I know the exact point when Brandon was watching this because it appeared on group chat, and I'd like to quote some stuff from group chat. Things like, Chris Baker's back, stand over that pinball machine, yes. Or is it a jukebox? Didn't really pay attention. Yes, cross your arms behind that bar, Chris. Chris Baker got shirtless. My life is so fulfilled by this fight sequence. You can tell what Brandon's priorities were when he was watching this episode, because Chris Baker is back, and somehow more boulderous than before, and oh dear, I wish Brandon were actually here on this episode to talk about his reaction to shirtless Chris Baker, but he's not on, so maybe he'll just have to appear in another episode, maybe the next part, hopefully.
Yeah, we can give him a 10-minute rant.
Not a rant, it'll be a gush about
gush
Chris
rant.
Baker.
A 10-minute monologue. He can have a monologue as well.
Yeah. We'll gift him a monologue. Oh boy.
I think the saddest moment, though, is no Bortles.
Yeah, that's true.
No Bortles. Poor Jason.
Oh,
Jason just wanted to set a building on fire. And then forgets to go get a coaster.
Yeah.
So
Jason.
stupid.
Oh, Jason. Dear me. But I do like Janet's sort of ability to regain her powers, and somehow that also equates to superhuman strength as well. Like,
And just
bloody
ninja
hell.
skills.
No, but the fact that she's able to like kick someone across the bar, and knocking Sean unconscious is like, damn, son.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially for especially being a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that she can't
He is
kill
no mere
demons, I
mortal.
believe. Yeah. But also she can't kill demons. That was also raised up on an episode of the podcast. So, yeah. But it's also very interesting that she still has... Yeah, she's able to actually incapacitate people.
There has to also be a deleted scene from that involving Bad Janet. Because Bad Janet walks in and then that's it. Nothing else happens with Bad Janet.
Yes. Yes. It would have been fun to see
Darcy
Bad
on
Janet.
Darcy action.
I mean, we get that in a future episode.
Well, yes, we do.
Yes, but it's different because it's Janet versus Bad Janet, not, other people as Janet on other people as being Janet. Yeah. I wonder if there is some alternate, there is B-roll of shirtless Chris Baker demon versus a shirtless Chidi somewhere.
Are you finding birthday and Christmas presents for people? You finding birthday presents for people?
Potentially. Oh, there. Did you see? This would have been on. This is actually on Instagram, I believe, but it's from a while ago. William Jackson Harper, who plays Chidi Anagonye on The Good Place, posted a shot of him in a harness. I believe when that was a thing. I have to bring it up again. And the entire anecdote from the behind the scene from the podcast about the fact that both him and Luke Golden, who plays Chris Baker Demon, were trying to outdo each other doing chin-ups, press-ups. I don't remember.
God.
On a press-up bar or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just like, yes, it's definitely a flexing of egos, just for this particular time on set. Oh dear, we keep gushing about the podcast too much, but it's true. It's good.
I miss it.
I do, and even with the 2-episode Brooklyn Nine-Nine special, still not enough.
They should do Parks and Rec episodes.
Whoa.
Even if it's just similar
2
to what we're
episodes
doing,
again?
just season retrospectives.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to go through it episode by episode, or maybe do it every 2 episodes or 3 episodes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can still get the similar cast, and I mean, a lot of the people from Parks and Rec have gone on to do bigger things, and it might be a bit hard to track them down.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure it would be doable.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can still get I mean, you can still get Mike on, probably.
The forever.
And there's a lot of the writers that are the same, so
yeah.
there you go. And even if you just get one episode with Chris Pratt or so on.
Amy Poehler and
Yeah,
Nick
Amy
Offerman.
Poehler.
Oh, and Nick Offerman and
Nick Offerman.
Mark Evan Jackson episode. That would be interesting.
Just some flex.
I mean, or you'll just have an episode purely with the two of them just talking about how both of them were given the offer of, playing Sean. We can just expand on that entire little anecdote that Mark gave in previous seasons of the podcast. But yeah, that'll be fun. There is something, I guess, from this batch of episodes that we've discussed that does make me laugh, is that there's a post, a behind the scenes post of Manny as Jason with the life vest fully inflated and just goofing around with them filming a scene with, I believe it is Ted and Kristen filming a scene, and it's just the best. Manny knows how to get people laughing, even if he's not saying anything. God bless.
He is the real dink.
He is. He's such an adorable man. And I'm very happy that someone has claimed him. So yeah. Is there anything...
I mean, the boy can also dance.
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget.
As we see, yeah. He's really going for it, and he's pretty good.
He's not just pretty good, he's
like
fucking great.
Talent, or if it's just they got a choreographer in to... I presume to get all mass synchronized.
Oh, no. I think
the background have to be
got...
like professional dancers, but I think Manny's got to have some experience in it.
Yeah, Manny has the experience, but I think he worked with the choreo to do the whole dance crew thing. But yeah,
which
Manny
is still that dance crew is still way too big.
Yeah.
To think about the size it starts at, and then they get disqualified for having however many people on stage.
Yeah, 60
60
people, right? Oh God, committing crimes, all the fun stuff.
You go back to committing crimes.
Oh dear me. Oh Jason, you adorable, stupid boy. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up before I bring this episode to a close, Nick?
Nope.
All good.
Nope.
In which case, we'll do a little bit of What's Good. So, if you haven't heard, What's Good is a segment that is from The Good Place, the podcast that we are going to take and not claim as our own. We've given credit for it, where we'll talk about what's been good in our lives or something that we want to give a shout out to, anything like that. So, Nick, what's good?
This is going to be a bit self-satisfying and a little bit introspective, but what's good are great mates.
Oh,
not in a this is the best podcast ever way, but it's fun to like have a small group of friends that you can just joke around with and talk to every now and again, and it's always good when we talk to each other or talk to each other when we've been busy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when people are in completely different states to where they live and they're still on Discord, or in completely different countries and they can still drop by every now and again.
You know, do a ghost, do a quick lurk.
Or when people don't figure out how to turn their phones off.
Oh boy.
But no, having great mates is what's good.
Yeah. Bless. How sweet, Nick. I mean, yeah. I'd like to echo that sentiment. And if you don't know why, you should probably go listen to the Let's Get Deeper miniseries, if you want to know more about us. But what's good? What's good is chatting to people who you haven't talked to in a long time, and yeah, in many ways getting to know them all over again. Yeah, I think that's good. It gives you an opportunity to reconnect in a way. This is totally not a cryptic message at all for anyone that's listening. Don't even think of trying to extrapolate additional meanings from it. So yeah, Nick, where can people find you?
People can find me at Nick Langcroon on Twitter and Instagram.
Sweet. You can find me basically everywhere as a Bang Pinoy, and come and hit us up on our podcast socials. We can be found on Instagram and Twitter as GR8 M8S Podcast, GR8 M8S Podcast. That's one word. If you want to go find out where the other mates are, you know, just listen to our old episodes. Now that you're listening to us, we'd really love if you go and share us to a friend of yours onto your own social medias. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, because, you know, we really need more reviews. And literally sub to this podcast wherever you listen to us. Google Play Music, Spotify, TuneIn, many platforms. But that's going to be it. We will be back soon with part 3, which covers the last 3 episodes of season 3 of The Good Place. So, thank you guys for listening, and go do something good. Bye.
Bye.
Where are we going?